Welcome to the top of the morning show. It's your girl TT from the D. Happy hump day to some. It's Work It Out Wednesday, right? I want to thank you for stopping by this morning. There's several other platforms you could have stopped by to check out, but you chose TT from the D, and for that I am grateful. This morning's topic is not going to be simple, and it's not going to be really understood unless you really pay attention. When we say the word body shaming, we know all about that, right? And we've heard different breakdowns, tomato, right? But have you ever heard of the BDD? Not BBD like Bev, and DeVoe, but BDD, Body Dysmorphic Disorder. What is that, TT? Body Dysmorphic Disorder is a mental health condition, now listen closely, that changes how you see and feel about your own body when you look in the mirror, the reflection that stares back at you. It's superficial, but yet your eyes pick up what it sees. And people have started getting truly saddened by what they see when they look in the mirror. And it is getting people to the point where, now not all, but some people have died by trying to change the way their bodies look. The eye shape, your nose shape, your lip shape. You get people, your cheekbone shape. You get people that get injections in their cheeks and slim down their noses or big up their noses, right? Injections in their lips. They want fuller lips, right? You get people that want the perfect eyebrow. So they get the eyebrows permanently done. Now, I'm not going to shade nobody. To each his own. I wouldn't mind getting my eyebrows done. But what if I get sick of it? Like, I don't want this shape no more. What am I do? At least when you draw on your eyebrows, you could take it off. Like, yeah, it's too thick. You could say, well, when you outline it, TT, yeah, maybe, but who wants to do all that? But when we talk about BDD, it really can affect a person's mental state of mind, the way they love on themselves or don't love on themselves. It's so deep that it heightens the problem area of the mind where you become very self-immortalized. Like all you see is how you look. Sometimes people want to harm themselves and sometimes people harm themselves. And then let's not have a group of young people out here that will shame you. How many times have you seen or witnessed, and this go for older people too, because some of y'all is terrible, but the kids are cruel, and they'll say stupid stuff like, go kill yourself, not knowing what that young girl or that young man is going through. And then, depending on their spirituality or how they feel or their faith walk, they just may feel like, you know what, they're right. I should just do that. Well, the devil wins if that happens. The devil wins. Because what did he come to do? He came to kill, steal, and destroy. He didn't come to bring love and unity. No, he is the opposite. He is the opposite. We hear about body shaming, things of that nature. But the BDD is true and is real. Statistics show, when I was reading this, that 2.4 of adults in the United States, now, I don't know about other countries, but in the U.S., right, it affects them. And about 2.5% of women and people assigned female at birth. Now, it's a sad thing that I have to say that, because you either a male or you're a female, or you're a hermaphrodite, whatever, right? But you wake up one morning and say, you know what? I don't identify with a male. I'm changing it. I don't identify with a female. I'm changing it. And they go to the doctor. I don't like the way I look. I feel like I look like a man. I want to look like a man. Totally. And it's like, okay. And these doctors are getting richer and richer by the day. And you would think that once, people started dying from this, we'd take a hard look like, yo, let's see what the problem is, because something's happening here. But they're not, because people are greedy. What are some of the signs? What are some of the symptoms? Do you suffer? Do you know somebody that suffers from BDD? Would you recognize it? I know I look in the mirror. I'm like, oh, I don't. Yeah, I need to lose this. I need to tighten this. I need to firm that. And shout out to my husband, Swifty McVeigh. He is so amazing. He's always encouraging me and telling me how beautiful he think I am. You know what I tell my husband? I said, you ain't nothing but a pimp. That's a little humor this morning. But I'm like, boy. But he is, I have to say, he always tells me, and he hasn't changed in almost 20 years of our friendship, because we were just friends before we became lovers, before we became spouses. He always told me how nice I looked, or how pretty he thought I was. And I'm like, I'm not pretty. I'm cute. A baby is cute. A doll is cute. A dog is cute. And that's how I looked at myself. I was one of those girls that grew up and developed real quick, but yet real slow. And it's like, all right, this is who I am. This is where I am. And I wasn't appeased. I'm not 100% appeased right now, but I don't body shame myself. I know some problem areas, and I'm like, oh, you ate too many cookies, too many cakes, drank too many libations, did zero this and that to combat that. But a person that suffers from BDD spends excessive amount of time thinking about at least one thing about themselves that they just don't like. Now, I don't do that, but I'm like, when I catch a glimpse, like, yeah, I don't like that. Right? We want to change our appearance. You feel you too pale, so you want to tan or use the spray on tan. Right? Now, they say, I don't know, because I don't have to tan because I'm already a darker version of myself. But they say that every time you go into the tanning booth, you opening yourself up for opportunities for cancers to set in. I don't know. They said the same thing about UV lights when we get our nails done, when we do the oh God, what we call this? Not the gel. Ugh. I can't even think. I'm looking right at my nails. I'm like, shellac. There we go. Boo. Yeah, shellac. They say, oh, don't do that. It causes cancer. I'm like, We look at our hair. Like, I'm going through a season with my hair, right? And I'm like, it's in a stage where it's like, oh, to do it on my own is a no. But I'd be trying it because I feel so natural sometimes. I just want to do natural. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. So then I'm like, oh, let me get a weave. Let me get some braids. Let me flat iron my hair. Let me put in a wig. Let me do all these things. Changing the hairstyle, right? We're taking selfies. We take 1,500 selfies of one pose. And we go through all 1,500. And we get that one. We there for that one. Or we use filters and apps. I've gotten to be great with it to hide the imperfections of who we are. But we are who we are. Sometimes you'll hear a person, or you might have heard a person growing up saying, I'm ugly. Because they were told they were ugly. Or, I'm not pretty like everybody else. Well, who said they were pretty and you were not? When we get shaves and waxes, and I'm like, well, when you really think about it, our hair is covering up certain body parts for a reason. Why would God allow hair to grow in certain areas? We need our hair on our head, right? For a reason. We need the eyelashes on our eyelids to keep out dust and be able to close your eyes and, right? No? Yes? We need the eyebrows, right? So we can have a face. We're not Mr. Potato Head. You get what I'm saying? The hair that's on your legs or on your arms or on your back. Some of y'all got it on your chest. Men, of course. Ladies, by nature, right? You get it. On your private parts, on your genital areas. You get it? Even the hair between your butt crack. I know that's going deep. It's too early for that, TT. I know. But I'm being transparent. We avoid situations and people that might notice all these imperfections about us, but who are they? And then you get surgery after surgery. They say you get addicted to it. I wouldn't know. Now, I've been telling my husband, I want a tummy tuck. He was like, you better go to the gym, Miss TT, and do crunches and sit-ups and this and this and that. I'm looking at him like, ugh, I just need him to say, okay, babe, if that's what you want to do. But he is like, it's a no. I'm like, ugh. Will I sneak and do it when he's on the road one day? No. Because the one thing that will definitely keep me from doing it is all of the people who have unfortunately lost their lives to some kind of complication or medical malpractice. Well, yeah, my family will sue them, but what does that mean to me if I'm not here to enjoy none of the benefits of the monies that they would get? It doesn't bring me back. It doesn't. And even if my family is well taken care of, it does not bring me back. But people do it. They think cosmetic surgery will fix it. You got people who want to look like people. Like, I admire a lot of people. Let me tell you that. I've seen some beautiful human beings in this life. But I am not about to go against surgery so I can look like Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, I love Jada. I think she's beautiful, despite all the stuff that goes on in social media. Because we don't know if all that stuff is real. We know some of it is. And people who want to just tell people business. You was rolling with me eating sushi and having martinis. And it was, hey sis, hey bro. And as soon as you got pissed off, you went and did some things. But now I want to go look like you. It's a no. The thought of self-harming or suicide becomes the way they look at it. Like, I gotta go and do something about this. But it's another level of body shaming. Now, some people could say it's the brain structure that causes this. Some people could say it's genetics, right? A cultural influence, popular media, because we live on social media. I want to look like that. Or the girls or the guys that get the most likes is the ones with the biceps and the arms and the butts and the tits. And so now you want to do that. But it's all make-believe, filters and this and that. You see somebody in person, you're like, yo, I ain't gonna say the name and I ain't gonna say my friend because I got friends from all places of life. But I have a friend who saw someone in their travelings, another celebrity. They're both celebrities. And my friend said when they saw this person, they was like, who is that? And when they told my friend who that person was, my friend was like, get the F out of here. And we see it every day in our face when we do makeup, contouring. And, you know, people were swearing Delicious London Charles, or I don't know if she's still London Charles, but Delicious. You know who Delicious is because you know her international. But she's beautiful. I always thought she was beautiful. Before the surgery, after the surgery. I respect what she want to do. But people are like going off and body shaming her. Why did you do this to your breast? Why did you do this to your butt? Or the big one, when she didn't have a nose job, she was just contouring. And she had to do a lot. She didn't have to, but she chose to do a live. She was like, I did not get a nose job. She did a live with her contouring. And it blew people's mind like, damn, she contoured the hell out of her nose. Because she had a black person, as people would say, nose. But what is a black person's nose? Because it's wide. Well, what about when I see other cultured people with wide noses? Does that mean that they parent cheated with somebody black? Like, what? Who makes up this foolery? Because what they don't realize is that a lot of people suffer from the foolery they hear from the bullshit. And it brings forth all kind of things. Anxiety disorders, depression, eating disorders, right? obsessive compulsive disorders, substance abuse. You got somebody, I want to have muscles, I want to have big arms, and you got a person that work out all the time. Another person, they work out, but they ain't getting the end result. They go and turn to steroids. Like, what? Which will affect their muscles, etc. I'm saying all that to say is we gotta stop, y'all. Be okay with what you look like when you look in the mirror. And if you don't like what you see 100%, which is, I would say, natural, what you gonna do about it? That might mean you can't have 10 cookies. Get 2. That might mean you can't eat a whole family-sized bag of Doritos in one sitting. Get you a little container and make you some portions. They did not create the word portion control for nothing. You don't like all the acne. Oh, I got all this acne in my face. I'm breaking out. Cut back on the sugar, sis. Cut back on the sugar, bro. Stop going to happy hours. Stop going buy one, get one free. BOGO sales. Stop all the fried, processed food. Just stop. Easier said than done, TT. You right. Because I like my cookies and candy. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something. I'm going to use a perfect example. This is real life true. In real time. I loved, hear me, loved, the ED, that means past tense, coffee. Okay? Went through a season of, I got coffee every day. Got so bad, I'd had coffee and a donut. Stopping at my favorite coffee houses such as, and they're not paying me for this, I don't mind sharing it, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, Tim Hortons. And getting my standard cup of coffee or trying different ones. Like, I want to try a latte. I want to try a this or that, right? And my donut, old fashioned, glazed, right? Hey, that's my go-to, right? Every morning. But then I noticed I was gaining a little bit of weight. And when I would fast or juice and cleanse myself, I'm losing that extra fat because it ain't nothing but pounds of sugar, right? Right? We just got through with Lent, right? The Daniel fast, right? And I did where I gave up. I sacrificed coffee and donuts for 40 days. And at first it was like, you know. And one day when I was like, I'm just going to get it today and I'll add another day. I had to tell myself, no, you will not. Right? So long and short, as soon as we could break our fast, first thing I do on that Sunday morning was get me a good cup of coffee. And I had an extra large. We were in Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, checking out this really good breakfast spot that's quaint and small. Of course, we're not from there. And you know me, if you know me, I love a great restaurant with great food, libations, whatever. It was a coffee house. My husband loves his coffee and his tea and stuff like that. And so I was like, hey, before we go back to Michigan, let's hop at the spot. Cool. I drank that coffee after 40 days of no coffee. Do you know my stomach was tore up? Like, I'm like, is Van Damme in my tummy? Because I'm not sure what's kicking in there. And it was like my guts was like, no. So I said, I wonder if it was just a bad batch of coffee. So I got it all out of my system. It's all good. I waited a couple of days. I get me another coffee from one of my favorite coffee houses. Stomach tore up. I'm putting 2 and 2 together like, wait a minute. Now, I know I ain't lactose intolerant all of a sudden because I was still eating cheese. I said, is it the milk? I don't drink milk anyway, but in my coffee, the creamer? Huh. And you know coffee serves as a diuretic infusion, like, you know, if you get colonics and things of that nature. So moving on. I digress. So I said, I stopped and got me an iced coffee after dropping my husband off at the airport last week. I took 2 sips. 2 sips, ladies and gentlemen. Not gulps. I said sips. And my stomach was like, listen, friend, what we doing? I'm like, yeah, we're not going to do that. I said, 2 sips? And my stomach like, what we doing? I'm like, no, we're not doing the coffee. And I threw the whole thing away. I realized, like, But it was also a way of me to look at it and say, stop eating stuff and engaging in stuff that you're not happy with. It's not healthy for you, but it also is changing the way you look at your body. We got to do better when we know better. And for the people that do honestly suffer from BDD, my heart goes out to you. But there's treatment. You can get psychotherapy. You could take, now I ain't big on antidepressants and stuff, but they do have that kind of stuff. I don't recommend that, but I'm telling you what they have for you. Right? And to each his own, right? You gotta work it out. It's not fair. It's like the world tells you and dictate what you do, where you go, how you supposed to dress, how you supposed to eat, how you supposed to look. The buck stops there, friend. I don't want to look like everybody next to me. So now we're looking like we're cloned and shit. Be you. God made you so uniquely beautiful. Every part of your body is amazing. The little love handle. I saw a cute little thing on social media the other day, and it was like, what are these supposed to be? And the lady was grabbing her stuff. I said, damn, I got a little love handle left and right. And her husband was like, dinner. I said, how cute, right? He loves every part of her. And one of the things my husband says to me a lot, and when he says it, I'm always like, you're a pimp. I always mess with him. I always tell you a pimp, right? But he always tells me, like, I love everything about you. And I'd be looking like, you don't love all of this. He's like, no, I do. I love everything about you. And every time I get a moment to just look at my husband, I'm always like, I'm a lucky girl. You're a lucky guy too. Now, let's not get it fucked up. But seriously, I'm a lucky girl because growing up and seeing what I saw in life, and then being able to arrive at the place I am in my life right now at 40. Am I at 48? Yeah, 48 years old. I always have to ask my husband, like, how old am I? I've been doing that since I was like 25, because I lied about